George Orwell? Pah! Lazy. Let me set the scene. It's 2003. I'm 17, perusing my parents' bookshelves, not expecting to find much because, well, adult books are boring, aren't they? I was into young adult dystopian books, fantasy books, where a lone young person rises up and joins a resistance to overthrow the evil, controlling regime that ruled the land. But hang on, what's this? A book called 1984 by someone called George Orwell on the bookshelves. It sounds right up my alley. So I start reading and I'm absolutely loving it, with Big Brother controlling people, whether they're at work, even in their own homes, or even in their own minds, with double speak and double think. And so I'm getting on in the book further and further, and spoiler alert, and I'm getting a bit worried because as the pages go down, they don't have much time to save the day and overthrow Big Brother. As the pages go down further, the dawning realization that that's not going to happen. They're not going to win. And what happens to the main character is so horrifying and dispiriting. And I knew even in my teenage mind that was the whole point, that it was realistic. But in my teenage mind, I thought, what a lazy writer. They couldn't even be bothered to figure out how to overthrow this regime. What a cop-out, I thought. And I always thought it would be interesting if someone were to sort of rewrite the book with a different ending where there really had been a resistance that was able to overcome and win. What would that have looked like? And I remember my disappointment with adult books, and were they all like that, just realistic, supposedly sophisticated? But surely there was a way where you could be realistic and sophisticated, but still come up with a solution and a better way of doing things. So that was my 17-year-old view of it. I wanted happy endings. I wonder what I would think of it now if I were to reread it, and how differently I would feel about everything. But I rather like having that first memory of it and thinking of George Orwell as a lazy writer. How did you fare in the transition from young adult to adult books? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to know.